Oh boy, I know I'm about to get attacked for this one because nobody is expecting this movie to be this low on my ranking list. Hey guys, what's up? It's Caitlin here, and today I'm going to be ranking Pixar films from worst to best. So before we even get into this, I just want to say that this is my list, so it's based on my opinion, so it's probably going to be different from yours. Feel free to disagree, fight it out in the comments. I'm totally here for that. Also, I've done this ranking about 4 times because I've scripted this video 4 times, and every single time the order of my rankings changes. So, I mean, this could honestly be different tomorrow for all I know. And at the end of the day, Pixar just makes great films, so they're all just so close, and that's why everyone has such varying opinions, because they're all amazing films. So yeah, I expect there to be some disagreements. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, and I have 2 things that I want you guys to comment today. Before the video even starts, I want you guys to comment what you think my #1 Pixar film is, because I'm curious to see how many of you will get it right. Also, comment your ranking down in the comments, because I think it'll be cool to compare everybody's favorite and least favorite Pixar films. So make sure you leave those 2 comments down below as well. Okay, let's get into this. I'm excited for this video. I've been looking forward to this video for so long, so I'm excited, so let's do it. So at number 20, the bottom of the list, I have put Monsters University. My reasoning for this is honestly, I've only seen it once, and if I've only seen it once, I feel like I didn't like it very much, and also I remember specifically leaving the theater just feeling disappointed. I just felt like the film overall was just kinda not that memorable. You're like, oh, I saw that movie, but I don't remember anything about it. Probably means you didn't like it very much. So that's why Monsters University sits at number 20 at the bottom of my list. Number 19, I actually only got around to watching yesterday because I never had any interest in it, and that's why number 19 is Brave. Honestly, I found the story kind of boring, a little flat. I felt like it was just so much exposition. It never felt like the movie came to a climax. Even though it did, I just didn't find it that entertaining. I feel like the movie was basically like all this exposition, and then it turned into Brother Bear, but not good. I love Brother Bear, by the way. I think that's a great movie. But this turned into a bad version of Brother Bear, and I wasn't really about it that much. I think the story definitely had potential, and I liked the messages that they were trying to sneak in there. At the same time, Merida kind of annoyed me, because while I saw what they were doing with her, like at the same time I was like, this girl just like doesn't understand what responsibility is. I too would love to just like run into the sunset and not worry about my responsibilities, but that's not how life works. I know it's a Pixar film, but still, I didn't love her character that much. The one aspect of the movie that I really loved was the witch, because I love the Pixar theory. If you have not seen the Pixar theory, please go watch it after this video. But basically, people say that the witch is actually Boo from Monsters, Inc. And they say that because I believe there is a Sully carving somewhere in her shop, and also the way she disappears through doors. She's there, but then she's not, and the whole thing with doors, basically, you know what I'm saying. And so some people think that she is Boo from Monsters, Inc. based on the Pixar theory, and I think that's super cool. Number 18, Cars 3. So I was actually super excited for this film to come out. I did a bunch of trailer reactions for it, if you guys remember any of those. I was so pumped. I thought it was gonna be great, and it wasn't. I was just kind of disappointed in the storyline. I did love that McQueen became the coach at the end, because it was more realistic in that sense. Like, his time racing had come to an end, and now he was moving on to like the next stage in racing where he could coach somebody else just like Doc did for him. I thought that was really cute, and I loved that aspect of it. The one part like that didn't make sense to me and that I didn't really understand was how Cruz subbed into the race like halfway through. I don't know if we have any racing fans out there, but can someone tell me if that's like a legal thing that you do in racing? One guy just does half of it and then another guy comes in and does the other half. I didn't understand that part, and even if it is legal, like, it's stupid. And also the whole scene with like that, it was like the muddy like fight ring track thing, like that whole scene just, I hated it. I don't know why I hated it so much, but guys, it made me so uncomfortable. I was like, when is this scene gonna be over? Because I hated it. I don't know why. At number 17, I have A Bug's Life. Now this film, honestly, it's a pretty good, solid film, but Pixar standards are super high for me, and this is one that I've only seen a couple times. I think the story's cute, it's a fun movie, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. I do remember a video game though that I had when I was younger. It was one of my first computer games, and it was a Bug's Life theme, and it was so much fun. That's honestly my fondest memory of A Bug's Life, is the video game that I play. Also, the show in Animal Kingdom where the spiders drop from the ceiling. Yeah, I cried the first time that happened because I was a small child and there were giant spiders dropping from the ceilings, and my dad thought it was funny, but I didn't, so Thanks, Dad. Number 16 is The Good Dinosaur. This movie was very sad in natural Pixar fashion. I've also only seen this one once. I remember it being a super cute film, but also not super memorable, which for me says a lot. From what I can remember, I think the animation was like really beautifully done at certain points in the film. The characters were really cute, and it made me cry, and any movie that makes me cry gets points just because, I don't know, if you can make me cry in a movie, like, I don't know what that was, and I promise I will never do it again. I can't promise that. I do weird things all the time. Number 15 is Cars 2. Now, a lot of people hate this film, like absolutely hate this film. I always see hate for the Cars franchise in general, but this one in particular. I honestly liked this film for the funny little jokes and cute moments throughout the movie. My favorite part of this film is something that my brother and I quote all the time because we just find it funnier than it is, but that's okay. It's the part where they're in the race like at the end and Mater goes, "Lightning, I'm the bomb." And McQueen's like, "Yes, Mater, you are the bomb. You've always been the bomb," because he doesn't realize that he's talking about actually physically having a bomb strapped to him. I don't know why I find that so funny, but I do. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. But I will admit, at the end of the day, the storyline for Cars 2 was not memorable. It was not the greatest of all Pixar films, but again, I just liked the little jokes and such. Oh boy, number 14. I know I'm about to get attacked for this one because nobody is expecting this movie to be this low on my ranking list. I guarantee it. But at number 14 is The Incredibles. I know, crucify me. I'm the worst human being on the planet, but let me explain. I love the Incredible family. I think they're cool characters. I've always loved Violet. I don't know why I've always been attracted to Violet, probably just because she was like the most relatable for me at a young age. But the reason that this film is so low on my list is two reasons. First is because I have never been a fan of superhero movies. I get why people like them, I understand, but as soon as a movie turns into a bunch of fighting and action sequences, I just get bored. I honestly zone out. And I guess that dislike for superhero movies also applies to animated kids movies as well, because I think that's part of why I don't really like The Incredibles that much. The second reason why I don't like The Incredibles that much is because of Syndrome, the villain. He irritates me on so many levels. I can't even explain it. Like, I get that you're not supposed to like a villain, but my dislike for Syndrome is to the point where I can't watch the movie because I'm just like, I hate you. I hate you so much. Please shut up. Please go away. Like, I can't watch this movie because you're so irritating. So yeah, I know this one being so low is gonna be very controversial. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This actually leads us into number 13, which is Incredibles 2. Yes, I actually did like Incredibles 2 more than Incredibles 1 by like that much. I really liked Violet's storyline. I know it was stupid and cheesy or whatever, but I thought it was really cute, like Violet's storyline. Like, it was really focused on her a lot in that movie, and I really liked that. I also really loved the scene where Elastigirl was looking for Screenslaver using the tracker, and she ends up in that warehouse type thing. It just kind of felt super eerie and almost like an episode of Criminal Minds to me, and I really liked that part. A friend and I recently had a conversation about the Incredibles movies and how he likes them and I don't really like them, but he did make a good point that the family dynamic with the Incredibles is really interesting and really cool and really fun to watch, and I have to agree with that because I really liked watching them as a family in this movie and just watching all of their relationships kind of unfold in all of these different ways. I thought that was really cool. I definitely can say I did see the plot twist coming from a mile away, but it's a kid's film, so it's not gonna lose points there because I feel like most of us saw it coming. I also really liked the first half of the movie more than the second half of the movie, but again, I think that just goes back to me not liking action sequences that much, so that's probably why that was. At number 12, we have the Pixar film that for me contains the saddest moment in all of movie history, guys. All of movie history, not just Pixar history. You know where this is going. Yes. It's Up. The first sequence of that movie with Ellie and Carl is beautiful. It is so sad, but that also just tells you how beautiful it is. They tell the sad, true story of life in just a few minutes so effectively and so powerfully, and it's just, I love it. But to be completely honest with you guys, the rest of the movie like is more average. Like, I love everything about Carl and Carl's character and just Carl throughout the movie, but the one thing that I don't love about Up is the talking dogs and again the villain. It just seems like two different movies when you watch the first 3 minutes and then when you see the talking dogs running around. I don't know, there's just like some disconnect somewhere in that movie that throws me off a little bit. So that's the only reason Up is at number 12, but I will agree that the beginning sequence is incredible. Alright, so number 11, we have some more sadness, guys. WALL-E. How dare that little robot be left on a planet all by himself to just pick up trash, essentially? The beginning makes me so sad because he's so lonely and he's all by himself, and I'm just like, hello? I do love the whole spaceship part of the movie. I've always found futuristic things really cool, even though it's a whole bad situation. I mean, humans are basically lumps in that movie, and it's horrible. But I do like the design of everything and just like the way that they created the whole spaceship. But in this movie, honestly, Pixar gets real. They are saying, hey guys, if we keep treating our planet like this, WALL-E is going to become a reality. Too real, Pixar. Too freaking real. Now we are halfway through the list and we are at number 10. At number 10, we have Toy Story 3. One thing that really sticks out to me in this movie whenever I think of Toy Story 3 is color. It's so bright and colorful, which makes sense because a lot of it takes place in a preschool where things usually are pretty bright and colorful. It's also just a really playful movie, except the scene at the end where all the toys like almost die and you're like, okay, rude. It's like not even sad because you're just sitting there in the theater like, don't you do it. I thought they were about to do it. I thought it was gonna I thought they were gonna die. Like, which might be stupid of me, but like, that scene was so intense, but so good also. And then let's not forget the final scene of the movie where Andy gives away all his toys, and it's just like, that's another one that just hits you like, because it's like growing up and just moving on, and oh my god, that scene was so sad but so perfect and just the most beautiful ending. I think that scene was a perfect end to the Toy Story franchise, but now we're getting a fourth Toy Story, and like, I'm excited for it because Toy Story movies generally are all really good, but at the same time, Toy Story 3 had a perfect ending, so you know, we'll see, Pixar. We'll see. Directly following Toy Story 3 at number 9 is Toy Story 2. I'm not even sure what it is about this movie, but I have always loved it. I love the airport scene. I just think it reminds me of the Doors scene in Monsters, Inc. I just love all the conveyor belts and the way they're like trying to travel through the suitcases and everything. Thought that was the coolest thing ever when I was a kid. Still kind of do. Also, I feel like you've probably picked up that I'm a sucker for emotional moments, so the scene where they flash back to Jessie with the girl who owned her and like how Jessie was like left on the side of the road in a box. That scene just really gets to me, and it's beautifully sad and I love it. Also, I love Bullseye just because he's so cute and clueless and adorable, and I feel like who doesn't love Bullseye, you know what I mean? And the whole toy store, like them going through the toy store, I just like all of those scenes look really cool. Though this is another movie where the villain is disgusting, like the Cheeto scene where he's like eating the Cheetos on the couch. It's so gross. Ew. Oh, now I'm thinking about it. Number 8, I feel like this is a favorite of a lot of people, and that is Ratatouille. What a damn cute movie, okay? This is a movie, honestly, that I feel like the majority of times that I've watched this movie, it's been on Disney Channel. Is it just me, or is this movie always on Disney Channel? I love Alfredo Linguini. Like, he's so cute. He's so cute. I mean, come on, he's adorable. I love him. And when Remy is under his hat controlling him, like, I just think that's so like cute and clever and fun, and I love everything about it. You probably noticed that I describe a lot of things as cute, but that's just because I love cute things, so just don't worry about it. But yeah, Ratatouille is the best and I love it. Number 7, next movie on my list is Monsters, Inc. This one is just so fun. How can you not love this movie? I was listening to the original song from that movie recently. Loved that song so much. I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you. But I also remember being terrified of Randall when I was younger because I lived on a street called Randall, and I used to be scared to go into my basement because I thought Randall was gonna be there, because I would always think back to the scene where they go into that like secret lab that Randall has, and I just always thought if I went into my basement, Randall would be there with his giant machine. I was a weird child, weren't we all? But very much like the airport scene, my favorite scene in this movie is the doors, because it's so much fun. Like, they just go in all these different doors and they go to all different places, and you're like, whoa, what a concept. It's really cool. Said, yep, what a concept. I hate myself. Number 6, you guys are probably shocked that I haven't already said this film, because you all probably hate it because no one likes this franchise and it makes me upset. But at number 6, I have Cars. Cars is honestly probably the Pixar film I have seen the most number of times. Maybe that's because I have a little brother who was obsessed with cars when he was younger, but I don't know. I love Cars. A lot of people have bad things to say about the entirety of the Cars franchise, and I will accept that for Cars 2 and 3 because they are kind of films. But Cars 1, guys, what do people not see in this movie? I think it's so cute. Again, there's that word cute. I'm sorry, I use it a lot. But McQueen is like this big shot, and then he ends up in a small town and he has to learn what it's like to be like, you know, not this big fancy race car who gets whatever he wants when he wants it. And I just think I love Cars, guys. Also, I always love Mater because he's just a funny dork, and it's great. At number 5, we have a classic, or you could honestly say the classic, and that is Toy Story 1. I feel like there are probably 2 human beings out there who don't like Toy Story because it is such a quality film. It is the OG Pixar movie before Pixar was Disney. Rex was always my favorite character. I have a thing for all like the stupid goofy characters, as you can tell. I like Bullseye, I like Rex, I like Mater. I feel like that's a common thing though. I feel like a lot of people like those characters. I don't know. I also kind of love Mr. Potato Head now though, because I feel like I relate to him more on a spiritual level when he's just kind of like, everyone shut up and leave me alone. I'm like same. Alright, now we have reached the top 4, and these 4 movies are 4 of my favorite of all time. 4 incredible movies that I love with my whole being, that I will drop everything to watch at any time. Here we go. This is where it gets intense, guys. Number 4. At number 4, we have Finding Dory. If you know me, you know I love Ellen DeGeneres, and therefore I love Dory because Dory is voiced by Ellen, blah blah blah, everyone knows that. I also just really love the characters in that movie. I love Bailey. Bailey, okay, maybe this is biased because I love Phil on Modern Family and Ty Burrell is Phil and he's also Bailey, but I just think Bailey is such a funny freaking character. Best part of the movie though, okay, if you tell me you didn't get emotional at this part of the movie, you're lying to me. But at the end, when Dory finds all the shells that her parents have been laying out for her for years to try and find her, I actually like can feel tears like in the back of my eyeballs right now just thinking about that because it's so precious and so cute and I love it so much, okay, I'm gonna calm down now. So number 3 and number 4 are pretty closely related, you could say. Number 3, we have Finding Nemo. Again, big fan of Ellen, so love Dory, but Finding Nemo, everyone agrees that this is one of the best Pixar films by far. Between Crush and Mr. Ray and Bruce and the Tank Gang, all phenomenal characters, so good, so well done. I think Finding Nemo is so appealing because, well, one, Ellen DeGeneres is in it, but also it's a heartwarming story about what parents do for their kids and just family in general, and I just think it's so precious, and I love it so much. I'm an emotional pile of trash if you haven't picked up on that by this point. If anyone's even still watching this video, you deserve a medal or something. 2 films left. Okay, what's gonna be number 2? What's gonna be number 1? You're gonna have to wait and find out. Number 2, I have one of my most recent favorite films, and that is Coco. I bawled in the theater watching this with my friends. I was there with 2 of my other friends who get emotional during movies. It was a mess in that 14th row. When he's trying to remind his grandmother of his father so that he doesn't disappear forever, and then the Day of the Dead comes around and Coco is dead, but then they do kind of make it okay because like they reunite them all and it's so beautiful. I think obviously this is another great movie just about family, and I think it's really cute that they like touch upon like the afterlife and they make like death look less scary by the way they do it, and it's really, really precious. Okay, and I might be an idiot, but I did not see the plot twist coming. Like, I'm probably just stupid, but that plot twist for me, didn't see it coming, so when it actually happened, my jaw dropped in that theater. I was like, no freaking way. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I've watched that movie so many times since then, and I still love it. It's just so cute and so precious, and yes, Pixar, yes. And that leaves one more Pixar film. You guys know what it is. It is Inside Out. Okay, some of you might disagree with my ranking on this one, but this movie is absolute creative genius. It's so complex in so many ways. The whole universe that the characters live in is so well thought out and just creative as hell. The literal train of thought and abstract thinking, Some of the most brilliant minds came up with this movie, I'm telling you that right now. And then there's just the whole main message of the movie, which is it's okay to be sad, and sometimes you have to feel sad, and if you feel sad, cry it out. It's okay, don't force yourself to be happy. And I love everything about that message. It's so like, yes, Pixar, yes. This is one of those movies that, like, yes, it's Pixar, so it's meant for kids, but at the same time, it hits real hard for teens and adults because they will understand it more than younger kids will, and it hits you, you know what I mean? Do not get me started on Bing Bong. That's a whole rabbit hole that I could go down right now, but I'm not going to because I will cry. R.I.P. Bing Bong, okay? I'm actually getting, again, the tears. I can feel them behind my eyes just thinking about it. So we're gonna move on. I just think Inside Out deserves the #1 spot because of the creative complexity of it and the overall message of the movie. I just love it so much. I think it deserves it, and that is my #1 favorite Pixar film. And that is my full ranked Pixar list. I can almost guarantee that none of you are going to agree with it because I have some controversial opinions on certain movies, and I understand that, and it's okay. We all are different human beings, okay? Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Again, I want to hear what your ranking is, so please drop your full 20 Pixar film list ranking down in the comments so we can all compare what our favorite Pixar films are and what our least favorite are, and just, I honestly am really interested to see other people's Pixar ranking lists. Like, I look them up all the time because I'm genuinely very interested, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!